Hi guys, it's Sandra from Inspired Keyboardist, and today I'm going to teach a really brief version of Hillsong's Wake. So let's start from the very beginning of the song. So obviously it's a very like a band kind of song. You need the electric guitars, you need tons of synth keyboards, and you know, as I unfold, I'm gonna share some basic melodies that the synths play, but what I really want to show you is how to present it even on like a piano sound. So like right now I'm actually on like a full concert grand sound, and I just want to show how I will play it if I have to be alone in a room and there is pretty much just me and maybe another person playing the cajon or something. So it's in the key of G. How do I know? So it's, so this would be the home key, so it's a G major song, and so this is how I will play the introduction. So what's going on here? There is, firstly, it's a pretty low register. I didn't want to do a different register from the electric guitarist who was already playing in here. So and also I was using the Everlasting 1 and 5, which you might have watched from my previous video, that to make a contemporary sound you want to create, try and play as much of the 1s and the 5s, and in the case of G major it's G and D. So how do I do it in such a condensed space? It sounds very different if I just go like, I decided to add it in through playing my D on the top right here. But the thing is, you don't want to play that too loud. So you want to control your pinky and really just play that as like as a secondary tone. To you want people to hear that. You don't want people to hear. So try and put that together, and it takes a little bit of skill to really just balance that. So. And then the next part we just pretty much go into like no, there's no melody in there, no more. We're just gonna do, we're just gonna play together with the recording. So I've come to discover that when it comes to just pretty much solo piano playing, it's really handy to use your bass note, meaning your left hand pinky, to set the pulse and set the tone and just how strong and how rhythmic that section is. And so in this case I've decided that, you know, it's a little bit too calm if you do. Calm. So what I want to do is to emulate the bass drum and the bassist. Where the synths go crazy, and so you heard how I was playing that counter melody, whatever you want to call it, and then it goes from down here to high up there. So I don't know how you want to call that section, and some people call it the chorus, some call it the pre-chorus, but what you want to do is to start from the middle register and you're going to go up. So I was doing the Everlasting 1 and 5 again. I was just playing a whole lot of Ds. And that's like a clash note because it's a second, but it's okay. It's just very momentary, so that didn't sound very bad. And then of course my left hand has to fulfill its role of just keeping the bass note and the harmony going. And then of course, if you are a keyboardist in the context of a band, then you don't even need to worry about this part, right? So that's where you can start choosing a sound that is a synth sound. And of course, every keyboard has different kinds of sounds. You want to find the best possible sound. So that's the problem with keyboardists. You've got to do your homework. You want to preset those sounds. You want to take time to go to rehearsals early and just go through and scroll through all the categories and find and save those sounds in time. Something you want to try to do very quickly. And so I've come to discover my keyboard has a pretty nice polyhook sound. So that's pretty straightforward, because if you are going to do just that as a synth keyboardist, then pretty much you just play that in octaves, because it's kind of empty. But put that together in octave and that sounds totally much fuller. Okay, so that's the synth, but you know what? I'm gonna proceed to just continue in the piano sound, because I want to really emphasize on doing more, because it's always easier to reduce. So if you can do more, then you are more prepared as a keyboardist, and chances are you probably need to fill in a lot more than to take away. But it's so important to know how and when to take away as well, so something to note. I was trying to do octaves, but I realized it's actually pretty hard, so I will suggest if you want to do octaves, use two hands. If not, well, you could use you could practice that and really just aim for accuracy. That's a little bit hard, and you do need to use the pedal to just glue those notes together, because it's so important to create a legato. And one more thing about this section is articulation. Articulation refers to like how jumpy or disconnected the phrase is, the notes are to each other. So you really don't want to do, I feel like you can't really do legato phrases for this section. Like, I find like this needs to be, I'm trying to imitate the sound I hear. So this is how I will play. I'll really separate them. Separating each note. There is a small gap between them. Do try it out and do whatever it takes to mimic the recording as much as possible. It's kind of like a second verse, it's a little bit more built up, so instead of just doing, I'm actually playing a lot more on my right hand. I'm actually playing the chords together. Going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so I decided, okay, I'm just gonna double that on my left hand instead of, I'm gonna do. So all together you want to create like a gradual crescendo as well, getting from softer to louder. noticed that when during the repeat of the same 4 chords, remember it gets stale if you do the same thing. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna get stale if I keep doing. So I decided to add one extra voice right up there, which was like. So that little extra voice can make a whole lot of difference compared to just using the voices down here. You want to use three voices: low, something like a tenor, the alto, and the soprano voice. So as you can see, I was really thinking on the spot how to make the next section different. So I embedded the counter melody in the middle voice, and I'm sandwiching that between the D here and the D there. So you can try that. Of course, try to. It's kind of hard doing that unless you want to do where your thumb plays 2 notes, or you kind of need to do some stretching exercises before you play or something. That's pretty much the way to end. Just ends on chord 4, which is C. And that's all I have to say about Wake. So thank you so much for watching this video, and subscribe if this helped you. Thank you.